Salutations, dear viewer!
Yes, that's right! Back for the 365th week in a row, it's the MUMKEY and BIGS show. BIGS, we're finally at the end of MUMKEY and BIGS 365. I can't believe over 7 years, non-stop episodes.
It's been wild.
Wild like Randy the Wild Horse, not to be confused with Randy the Wild Cat or Randy the Wild Epstein did not kill his own self. Shout out to the poll before the show. BIGS, we have not heard from you in a little over a month. We wanted to hear from you last week, but I guess some computers got all fucky. So, you want to tell us about that? Is that's like your job? Wait, why are they saying Mike is muted? Oh, it's not true. It can't be true. Should I just ignore the chat? Maybe it is muted and they just get fucked.
That would be so funny if it was.
Like, I'm just gonna listen to our own show real quick. We're back and better than ever.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely
Mike
muted.
is muted. Oh, it's not true. It can't be true. Should this be the show? It's gonna be an endless loop of the last 30 seconds, Biggs.
It's muted for mine. I can't hear it.
What? I can hear it.
I have YouTube pulled up. I can't hear it.
Well, you can hear it through this then. We're gonna play it like this.
It's not true. Should this be the show? It's gonna be an endless loop of the last 30 seconds, please.
Well, I guess if you're watching on a computer, it's muted. Get fucked. Well, this is for the real die-hard fans.
True.
You got the same.
Yeah,
Brooke
if you're
shirt.
real fans,
Beautiful.
you would just lip sync.
Yeah, you can read what we're saying on our lips. Biggs, you work in the tech field, and you're minding your own business, doing your overnight graveyard shift. Am I correct so far? Then suddenly, out of the blue, something bad happens.
Yeah, so long story short, for the company I work at, I work in their network operations center. I basically am part of a team that helps monitor their network as a whole nationwide.
And what's the name of the company, and what's your boss's phone number?
Yeah. So anyways.
You got to hear what your employee Big said. He's based as fuck. They give you a promotion for being based on a podcast?
He'd probably agree with it, honestly.
Yes.
He's pretty red-pilled. So anyways, yeah, it was just a normal night. It was pretty quiet, honestly. Not a lot going on. Bulk of my job too is like dealing with overnight maintenances and stuff. The technicians will call in and say, "Hey, we're gonna take this state offline or this city offline and upgrade these servers or whatever." And
you take an entire city off of the internet for some time?
Well, I mean, it's only for MediaCom customers, but yeah, and there's a notice put out well in advance, like, "Hey, we're gonna take this off between midnight and 6 a.m."
What if I'm doing an epic live stream? I'm just fucked.
I guess that sucks. Pull up your phone.
I was going to do a 24-hour live stream, but now that I hear this news, might as well just cancel it, because MediaCom might fuck me at any time with no warning.
Yeah.
Even though Big said there's a warning.
Yeah. So anyways, we're just like having a normal night. I'm doing maintenance requests and that kind of thing. And then suddenly, like, so 2 days a week I get to work from home, and then I have to be in office the other days.
Was this a work from home day?
It was a work from home day, which made it kind of nice, honestly.
Oh, they didn't make you come in and reset all the computers.
They attempted to have me come in, and I said, absolutely not.
You look out the window, it's like 3 a.m., and you say, "Oh, sorry, traffic's really bad. I'm not going to make it."
Yeah. So anyways, we're, doing our normal tasks or whatever. And suddenly, like, my computer just completely blue screens. I'm like, okay, whatever. These laptops suck anyways. So I get it rebooted. I log in, and the only thing that works is Microsoft Teams, and every other tool that we have is just completely down, offline. We're not able to check the status of any of our devices anywhere in the entire network. So everyone else in chat is like, "Hey, is whatever tool offline for you too? Is whatever tool offline for you too?" And next thing we know, like, all these other departments are like getting into our chat, and they're saying, "Hey, this tool's offline for us." So like customer support had like no tools that they could use. If somebody called in and said, "Hey, my modem's acting up," they were just
Were they getting
screwed.
pissed at you like, you IT retards, you fucked up my computer? Like they don't know what's going on?
Well, so we're not technically like the IT that would take care of this sort of thing.
Oh,
like
okay.
the tools itself. We have an actual tools department that does that. So yeah, basically everything went offline, and so they brought in like all the IT bigwigs and all the network guys, and we had like this big meeting on Teams, and that's when we found out that CrowdStrike was like the reason behind all of this. They had released some update that pretty much bricked a bunch of Windows computers. And
Now, why are they called CrowdStrike? Because I misheard it and I thought it was Cloud Strike. Because cloud is like a technology term, but crowd, like what, are they just dropping missiles on people? What are they talking about? Wouldn't Cloud Strike make more sense? Like they use the cloud to strike all of the technology in the world.
Yeah.
Literally. It's a
I'm
better
not sure.
name.
I honestly had never heard of CrowdStrike before this happened. And it's kind of scary thinking about how many businesses use this one company for their cybersecurity.
How
And
many
for this-
airlines?
yeah, like this wiped out so many companies, like computer systems, and all because of one update that got pushed that just happened to like brick the Windows computers. And for us, so I normally work from 10 p.m. till 7 a.m. And it was probably about 11:30 when everything went nuclear and it just went offline. So they brought up like that big group meeting with everyone in Teams, and they were working on it all night. Like it wasn't until after I had clocked off when they finally got everything back up and running. So
Do they get paid overtime for that shit?
so I didn't have to stay, but I imagine whoever was in there probably gets some kind of overtime, I guess. But so for me, I mean, honestly, at first it was really bad. Like we thought we were gonna have to do everything manually. Like we're gonna have to go through and find all the emails for all these random maintenance requests from all over the country. But ended up not being as bad, I guess, until the next day, because the next day we had to play catch up. So the day that it happened, we pretty much just had to sit on our hands and just wait for the IT guys to figure everything out, because until they had figured out it was CrowdStrike and until they figured out what happened with CrowdStrike and how to fix it, we pretty much had no idea what happened. Like there was even talks from the higher ups that they thought it was some kind of cyber attack,
Like an
on our
EMP bomb
company.
from Russia?
Like they thought it was a cyber attack on our company specifically. So it wasn't until a little bit later where they found out, oh, it was, you know, our cybersecurity company, and supposedly, you know, they were saying, oh, maybe they got cyber attacked, and then they came out and said it's not. It's just, you know, a bad update we pushed, and
A little bit of retardation trickled in.
But yeah, but just hearing like how many flights it grounded for hours on end, how many banks and hospitals. Like I think there was reports saying that at some hospitals all non-emergency surgeries were canceled because of this. Like it was huge. I think it's probably the biggest network event I've seen in my lifetime, at least.
Yeah, I saw some people were like camped out at airports 4 days later, still unable to get away home, like with small children, and they were saying, yeah, there's no rental cars, there's no hotels. Like at that point, it could not be me sitting on the floor of the airport for 4 days. Like you got to fucking man up and do something, dude. Get the fuck out of there. I'm putting that on the pathetic list next week. People who camp in the airport for 4 days because they're too stupid to do something else.
Right, and I feel like if you argued enough with the flight company, like the airline, like this is part of your guys' issue, not mine. Like you should be compensating me for a hotel. I shouldn't be sleeping on the floor of the of the terminal.
Yeah, they're all greedy. They don't care. They're putting planes out. Boeing is putting out planes that kill people and just fall apart in the sky. Whatever makes more money they care about, not making us happy, Biggs. You're going to be sleeping on the floor.
And even at that rate, like when you're waiting more than one day, cancel the flight and like find another route to get where you're going, unless of course it's super far.
Or fucking get a taxi to a place that does have rental cars, you dumb fuck.
Well, the funny thing is,
fuck.
and I haven't confirmed this, I guess, but from what I read, Southwestern Airlines was untouched by this
Good.
because all of their computer systems are run on Windows 3.1 still.
What is that, like 1994?
It's ages old. There's no reason any computer should be running that, but apparently.
So if I
hey,
ran
it
Windows
saved them from
95,
this.
I'd be good.
Yeah, probably. I think
Okay.
it was only Windows 10 and up, like Windows 10 and 11 computers that were affected.
Dave Yogurt became a 3-month member to say CrowdStrike made my Prime Day orders show up late. That is probably worse than getting stuck at the airport. But Biggs, I want to dive into the conspiracy here, because some people think this was less of a mistake, more of a test. Okay? Deep state government, they had a man on the water tower to kill Donald Trump. It was not a fucking lone 20-year-old gunman. Okay, FBI, CIA, they tried to kill Trump. They failed. Trump moved at the last second. Now they're scrambling, panic. Oh, let's do a test. Can we shut down the entire internet? Okay, now we got to get Biden out of the way. We're going to slip in our new candidate to beat Trump. Is this all connected, Biggs? Because it all happened in the span of like 2 or 3 days.
You know I am a huge fan of conspiracy theories. I think they're great to delve into, and honestly, I'm the type that would not be surprised by really anything that the government does because
Is it not in their advantage to have the power to shut down the internet at any given time? Shut down commerce, shut down flights. Like, oh, the people are rioting. They found out every single congressman has fucked a fucking toddler on camera on Epstein's Island. They're going to come kill us. Drop the CrowdStrike update. Oh, sorry. No more flights. No more internet.
So here's the problem with your theory here, MUMKEY.
Okay.
Is CrowdStrike is an Australian company.
So what?
So
we own them. We literally own them. The United States owns Australia. It's a fact. Of course they would do what we tell them.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, if it did come out that it was connected and like all these things that seem to be really convenient to happen together, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Biggs, I feel stupid because I'm 29 years young as of 2 weeks ago. And I just learned how the internet works, as in how the entire world is connected on the internet. And I'm guessing you probably know the answer as well. But if you in the chat had to guess, does the internet work through, let's say, satellites in space connecting everybody, or 750,000 miles of cable at the bottom of the ocean? What would you guess? Like, what? What do you mean?
Well,
Almost 1,000,000 miles of fucking Ethernet cables are under the ocean?
It's not Ethernet.
I know it's not,
fiber.
Biggs. I fucking know it's not Ethernet, but Jesus.
Yeah, and it's
Literal
crazy
sharks eat them. Sometimes the internet goes out because a shark ate the internet.
Yeah. And they have guys specifically trained to go down in submersibles to fix that stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Have you looked into how they actually lay that line? It's crazy too.
It's just a big spool on a boat.
Yeah, it's like a giant spool on a ship, and they drop it in sections, and then obviously fiber can only go so far before it needs like a repeater. So then there's like these massive box with like the equipment inside that does that. But yeah, they pretty much have this big plow that like digs up a hole, drops the line in, and then there's a separate thing behind it that like pushes the bottom sediment back over the line.
So it's literally buried
wild.
down there. It's not just
Yeah.
laying on the floor.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, Randy
Like
the Wild Horse,
watching-
he's 60. He says, I learned something today. Hey, educational program.
Yeah, and even just looking up like a map of all the fiber across the entire world is nuts. Like I never, until I got into like more of the higher level networking jobs and stuff like that, I never really thought of it that way. You know, I knew it was all connected somehow. It wasn't just like,
I mean, I think I thought it was magic at this. I mean, I don't know what I thought, but I was shocked when I learned the truth.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wanted to get really wild, they could literally split the world's internet in half if they just took out some lines in the ocean if they knew where they were.
I say, let's, Philippines is a series of little islands together. Let's just cut them off and see if the internet improves.
Maybe.
Let's just test it out on them.
I don't know. You'd be like crippling the VTuber community though if you do that.
And I would lose Weekend Warrior and Robel, so that's like half my viewers at this point. Maybe we need to keep them.
That's true.
If we cut off Australia, they can't CrowdStrike us anymore. I was gonna say Cloud, but
thinking of it like the board game Risk, where they're just down in the corner. You just cut off that one little corner, and they're done for.
Sebastian in the chat says, "Wait, so it is a series of tubes?" And I think that's why I was so flabbergasted. Is that I've heard that the internet's just a series of tubes. I assumed that like they were being hyperbolic or like it was a joke of some kind. But no, it's just literally the definition. It just literally is a bunch of tubes. And
it's crazy when you think about how long ago they were using fiber to like transport internet for like.
Well, from what I read, before the internet existed, they did the same thing for telegraphs and telephones. So they just, this is like the third time out. They're just doing it with internet now.
Yeah.
So they've been doing this shit since what, like the 1800s? That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Like fiber itself is crazy when you really think about it, because it's just a long tube of glass that reflects light in different wavelengths to transport information. It just, I don't know.
Does it just reflect like super fucking fast? Like, are they breaking the speed of light or something?
No, it's literally traveling at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Like that's how fast fiber is. But we're still trying to figure out how to program things to like utilize it to its like top potential, because we still haven't reached the max speed of fiber. Like we're barely scratching the surface.
Well, we have reached the highest heights of like video game graphics and music, so hopefully we don't stymie in terms of fiber like we are with everything else in the world. Can you think of anything that is actually genuinely getting better? Like, is the iPhone 18 way better than the 17? I'm guessing no. Is there anything that's actually improving?
Honestly, not really.
No.
Like, I feel like the way they're utilizing smart home devices might be improving, but overall, I feel like products in general just aren't improving. Maybe
I feel
just
like
the ideas of what they're doing with it.
If you fill your home up with smart products, you're just begging for trouble. Like, oh, my power's out. I guess I can't open the fridge. I don't know if it was a joke, but somebody said that their smart fridge was out from CrowdStrike. I hope that's not true, but
I feel like they were lying that they couldn't open it, but they definitely wouldn't be able to use like the
screen,
the UI. Yeah.
It'd be funny if they locked it. I can't do that, Dave. You've had too much to eat today.
Yeah, it's like a Tesla when it gets bricked. You can't open it anymore. It becomes your tomb.
Are Teslas like cutting people's fingers off? Like the handle's like very sharp and dangerous?
I have no idea. I've never like messed with the Tesla firsthand or anything.
I saw a rumor that one of the Kardashians like severely injured her hand recently on a Tesla, and they're hiding it because it'd be, I guess, bad for Musk or something. I don't know. Twitter's full of hilarious conspiracies that I get to read all day.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's bittersweet scrolling through Twitter because there's a lot of really funny things you can find, but then there's just so much like cesspool garbage on there that it's just like it makes you question why you even open the app or have it installed.
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably go on Twitter for maybe half as much as I do. Waste a little bit too much time. Biggs, we're 20 minutes in, and we still have to do the Jimmy game show. But there's so much I still want to catch up with you on. We have not heard your opinion on the Trump assassination, I don't believe. Do you have any thoughts on all that?
That was a wild day because that
was my birthday. Motherfucker, they almost killed Trump on my birthday. Could you imagine if they actually did? Like every year on my birthday, I'd have to hear, oh, they killed our king. Oh, God, Emperor Trump, Jesus Christ himself died on this day. Thanks. 7/13, lucky unlucky, huh, Trump?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I feel like I found out what happened from like the dumbest source because I wasn't watching the news, or I really never watched the news or anything. I found out from like some meme page that it happened. I feel like, but yeah, I mean, talk about just a total, like, I don't even know what you would call it.
Miracle?
Like disappointment, I
Oh.
guess, in the security
Secret Service?
of that. Yeah, Secret Service. Like, when you're looking at the overview of the area, there's literally like 2 roofs, right?
Yeah.
And only one of them was manned, and the other one was supposedly not manned because it was an incline that would potentially hurt their agents. And yet the one that their snipers were on was literally like a 45-degree angle.
Biggs, you can't decipher their logic here because they're lying. They're just lying. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
they have
reason to
to
try to
be.
understand. Like, they literally were in on it to try to kill him. They told the cops and the Secret Service 30 minutes in advance, there's a man with a gun on the roof. Can you please do anything at all? Keep talking, Trump. Stay on stage, Trump. We'll figure this one out. No, there's no danger.
Yeah,
They
it was,
wanted him dead, dude. They wanted him to be shot in the fucking head on national television in 4K.
Yeah, I feel like, especially, like, even right when it happened, I feel like it was too convenient. Like, everything that was coming out, people were saying, like, oh, here's a video of them screaming at the police. There's a guy with a gun up there.
So
and
many
there's
videos
nothing.
like that.
It was immediately obvious that there was something else in play, and this was, I don't know at the time if I would have said it was planned, but that they knew beforehand it was going to happen and just did nothing. But I think with everything that's come out and like all the lacked security, like, it's all intentional. It feels very intentional on all fronts. And then watching, I didn't watch all of it, but watching some of the interview with the Secret Service director, like,
And she just resigned the other day, right?
yeah, she's either completely clueless or
Or extremely clued in and pissed that
yeah,
they missed.
Yeah, just trying to hide everything as best she can with like the worst like lying face, I guess.
Shitty poker face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like poker face, that's what I was going for. It's it was wild. Yeah, cuz that's
If I'm Trump and I survive the deep state's assassination attempt and I win, you know, it's straight dictator mode. Like, every single person who was there to protect me on that day is executed publicly. Like, all the cops, all the Secret Service who knew I was about to be shot and let it happen, they get hanged in the street on day one. So they should feel blessed that I am not Trump.
It's time for guillotines.
It's time to raise the boards. It's time to sharpen blades. We just can't take this anymore. Those peaceful protests just were not cutting it. Martin Luther King and Gandhi both can go suck a dick. I'm sorry, Mr. President, we need to have your head. And senators and congressmen, we need all of you dead. And all the CEOs and all the banks. And TV pundits too, let's show our thanks. Rest in peace, Trevor Moore. Go listen to Time for Guillotines, everybody. Yeah, rest in peace, Rusty. You would have loved the Shadman list. Liquid Dave says you should host a live stream of Florian and Reactor debating each other about this year's election. Toot should be a moderator. If all 3 of them come to me and say, I want to do it, I will definitely do it. But that sounds like a lot of headache on my end to bring those fools together.
Yeah, that feels like a headache you don't really need or deserve to go through.
No. Like, trying to wrangle even a Reactor to show up could take 3 days worth of effort.
Yeah. So I guess the other thing that's kind of tied in with all this is the sudden, I guess some wouldn't say sudden because they kind of saw it coming, but like Biden dropping out and then
Do you
just
think he
disappearing.
agreed to that?
Oh, I don't think so. Especially when, like, literally days prior, he's like, I'm staying in this. I'm in it for the long haul.
Literally
blah, blah,
the
blah.
night before, he said, we're going through to the finish line. And then the next morning, they drop a letter, like a text document on Twitter. No footage of him or nothing. No proof
Yeah.
he even knows it's happening.
Yeah, it wasn't on, like, the official letterhead. It wasn't even his signature. Like, they found out that it was written by somebody else.
Some guy named
entirely.
Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally
And
some
then
guy named Steve.
His campaign, like, organizers or whatever didn't even know until they saw it on Twitter or something.
Mhm. White House
That's
staff didn't know.
insane.
That's
There
why
was no
people think it's a coup.
Yeah, there's, like, no proof of life for, like, 4 days. And then when they finally got him on video.
That video last
it's like-
night, it very well could be fake. Like, there was some
Well,
weird
yeah.
shit in there.
So they also, like, lined up his watch, and the time is completely wrong.
Well, was it pre-recorded? Because they do, if they're gonna lie and say it's live, but they know this old man cannot read for 3 minutes straight. So just a lot of editing that morning.
Yeah, and then what was there? There was like a call interview or something that somebody did with him.
Now, Kamala
And-
Harris was doing like a function, a big crowd of people, and he was on speakerphone.
Yeah, like, what?
But do you remember what she said? She accidentally said, "We have you on recording. I mean speakerphone."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Literally.
That's crazy.
Biden's probably dead. Like, until I see him with my
Probably.
own eyes, I'm just gonna assume he's dead and it's all deep fake.
Yeah, because hasn't Jill been completely silent since too? Like, nobody's
She
heard from her?
retweeted his letter with the heart emoji.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thanks, bitch. After you do an elder abuse on me, now you're gonna heart this shit.
So do you think they're literally gonna, like, try and skip doing any kind of primary voting for Kamala and just?
Oh, I
Put
think
her
it's
in?
it's a done deal. It's already Kamala versus Trump. There's no question.
Wild.
Should
She
we
might
move
have-
on to the Jimmy Game Show, Biggs?
Yeah, just my final comment was she might actually have slept her way to the top.
Yeah,
Maybe it's an endearing story for all those OnlyFans girls out there.
but Biggs, if we're going to be completely honest, most of our politicians were only able to attain power because there is blackmail footage of them owned by, let's say, a certain Middle Eastern country, of them having sex with children on Jeffrey Epstein's island. So they literally also had to sleep their way into the Senate, but not with adults. I'm not kidding. I actually believe this all to be fucking true, and it is. If you watched Benjamin Netanyahu, the fucking bullshit in Congress yesterday, with all of our supposed patriotic American Congress people bowing down to suck his Jewish cock and standing up and applauding when he says Americans are cowards for not helping out more. Yeah, we know why you're so loyal to these people who do nothing for us. We fucking know why, you bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, because wasn't there even, like, supposed footage of, was it Sanders that supposedly surfaced on the deep web or dark web?
Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, wasn't that a
What?
thing that came out where he was like, oh, somebody's got footage of him raping some boy in front of the Clintons or something. Like,
If that
I
was
would-
true, I would have heard about it, bitch.
I wouldn't doubt it. Look it up.
As an
I
old
wouldn't doubt
man?
it for a minute. Well, no, this was like back in the 80s or something, supposedly.
Well, somebody, if you could send me a footage of Bernie Sanders raping a child, I'd love to play it on the show. Well, Mumkey said too much. Yeah, this episode's getting taken down. It is what it is. The truth hurts a lot of people, but it's fine.
Shall we move on to me taking the dub for this game show?
Yeah, so if you recall the very beginning of Monkey and Biggs 365, some 20 odd episodes ago, we did a few episodes of
What?
game
That
shows.
was 365 episodes
My math's
ago.
a little off, Biggs. Please, okay? It's just off by a few hundred. Somebody better be screen
Definitely felt the
recording.
burn.
You don't need a screen record. This will definitely be up on all podcasting apps, so don't worry. But basically, it's a game show where one of us writes questions for the other guy. You know, I answered all the ones Biggs wrote for me, and then my significant other answered them as well, pretending to be me. We did the same thing with Biggs not too long ago. But here's a fun twist, Biggs. So the third set of answers are from ChatGPT. We did that with you. And if I recall, you spent a lot of time teaching Chat GPT who you are and like what kinds of things you would say, right?
Well, I'm guessing you had the upper hand because it might already know who you are.
Well, but here's the thing. All I said was answer these as if you're MUMKEY Jones. That's it. I did not give it any more information about me. So, like, the internet's interpretation of the character MUMKEY Jones is one of the 3 answers that you have to try to choose from here. And I will be honest, it got some of the questions right. It got some of them right. I set this up like 2 weeks ago. I might not even remember which ones are from me.
So you mean there's not gonna be like some buzzwords in there like contrarian and like
no,
what was the other thing?
Yeah, because when I set up the Chat GPT for Florian's character, I did say he's like a contrarian and stuff, and then they just sprinkled that in everywhere. But Chat GPT seems to know everything about MUMKEY Jones. I didn't have to coach it on anything. So let's see if you can find out who the real me is, Biggs.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna have to gauge really fast how serious or not serious you took these questions.
Well, I tried to be honest, Biggs. Okay, here we go. I got it on screen so everybody can play at home. Biggs sent me 9 questions. I chose the 7 best ones. And what should the goal be, Biggs? If there's 7 possible choices here, how many should you have to get right to win?
Out of 7? Well, what was the goal that you had to hit?
I don't know. We had like 12 questions back then, Biggs. There's way too many. How about if you get 4 out of 7, you win. And we need to figure out the prize for winning and the punishment for losing.
Sure, that sounds fair.
Okay, well, do you have anything in mind? If you don't get 4 points, do you have to be shirtless in this weekend's 48-hour film? And then you can be naked on the big screen.
I'm not even going to be here.
I mean, you could film it on your phone and send us the footage, dude. Like, there's no rule against it. No matter where you are.
Nobody wants to see me shirtless.
Then you better get 4 right. Give me a better option. The naked Biggs on screen. That's what the people want.
Well, we can't do One Piece because I'm already kind of watching that in a sense.
Sure.
I don't know.
How about if the loser has to DoorDash the other guy delicious food on the next episode of MUMKEY and Biggs? How about that? And then you'll get the delivery during the episode and eat it.
So if I lose, I send it to you. If I win,
I'll send it to you.
It to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
That's fair.
And the chat can maybe decide what food.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 1 then. What is your initial inspiration for making videos? And I guess I'll just read all these in my voice so you can really listen for it. A. My initial inspiration, well, like many others, I was heavily influenced by early YouTube creators and internet culture. I saw people like JonTron and Filthy Frank doing their thing, and I thought, hey, I can do that too. But it wasn't just about copying them. It was about finding my own voice and pushing boundaries in ways that only I could. Plus, there was always this itch to express my weird sense of humor and connect it with people who got it. Okay, Biggs, you got a good idea on who wrote that one?
I think.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Option B. I was originally inspired by my favorite movies and comedy videos I saw online to start filming videos. I started out writing scripts and casting my friends from school into roles for my short films and then posted them onto my old YouTube channel. How about that, Biggs? Does that sound likely?
Man, I don't know. It depends
Should I
on how
try
long-
C? Should we hear option C?
Sure.
Okay, what do you think of this one? In middle school, my hoodwigga Josh Case showed me this brand new show called The Whitest Kids You Know. And there was a sketch where Trevor Moore was doing a parody of Super Size Me, but with whiskey instead of McDonald's. And as a fan of Super Size Me, I thought it was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. So while me and my brother were home alone, I stole my mom's shitty little camera that recorded videos in like 360p, and I did a parody video of Trevor Moore's parody video where I drink nothing but milk for 30 days, and after a few hours, I start vomiting in the toilet.
See, I feel like that was yours.
Oh, you don't think that the AI put my hoodwigga Josh Case in there?
No, I don't.
And,
But
and
also
still,
it
if you
could've.
Google Josh Case, Iowa, it still shows a sexual predator instead of my friend. So trust me, it's not that guy. Don't put me on a Shadman list, please.
I don't know. You could be. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in C. I don't know. When I read through these myself before you started reading them, I kind of locked onto that one. But the other two, I don't know. The first one, I don't feel like JonTron was one of the people that you watched to like inspire you to start. I guess I don't know. I mean, we watched him back then, but
Nobody
feel
inspires me but me, Biggs.
I feel like Trevor Moore was more on par with your kind of comedy at the time, anyways.
I mean, I did just sing one of his songs for about 5 minutes on this episode.
So yeah, or maybe I shouldn't have. Are we saying it out loud, or are you gonna have chat guess? Or
Fuck
what?
the chat. They're not voting.
Okay, I'm guessing C.
Okay, Biggs, you got 1 point. You got 1 point out of 7 so far. Good guess. How'd you know? How could you know? Okay, question 2. What shock video scarred your innocence the most? Now, we're going to get a little harder, Biggs. That first one was easy on purpose. Option A. 2 Girls, 1 Cup is definitely up there. It was one of those things you hear about, think can't possibly be that bad, and then instantly regret watching. It was a scarring experience that I can't unsee, and it made me much more cautious about clicking on links that friends send me. Does that sound like me, Biggs?
No.
Option B. 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. It's absolutely horrific, and knowing those sickos went on to do the same thing to more people before finally getting arrested makes it even worse. I don't know. What about that one, Biggs? Do you remember 3 Guys, 1 Hammer?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what option C says. While the Spankwire video initially comes to mind as an all-you-can-eat buffet of self-mutilation, it was the horror of 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. I don't think I'd seen a person die before, let alone beaten to death, and the image of his normal human face pound by pound transmorphing into a red ocean of blood and gore while his desperate attempts for air were gurgling through the surface has stayed imprinted on my soul. Either that or the one called BigBag.com, where the guy injects his ball sack with fluid and it inflates to the size of an orange. That bag was huge.
Oh man.
BigBag.com no longer works, by the way. You had to be there.
I feel like it's got to be C again.
No shit.
Well, so I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know, your SO wrote these as well, and she knows you well enough to kind of act out.
I never explained Big Bag to her. we're not like post-coital romance, you know, cuddling in bed all sweaty. I'm like, hey, did I ever tell you about Big Bag? This dude stuck a needle in his fucking ball sack and it inflated this big.
Oh man!
And then he started just fucking coming all over the place.
In all your time of like talking about random terrible stuff you see online, you've never mentioned it in passing.
Not that
that
one.
she might have heard.
I mean, I clearly mentioned 3 Guys, 1 Hammer because she knew about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely am not afraid of 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Fucking 4 Girls finger painting is the shit. Go check that one out.
Pun intended.
You don't have a Don Truman relationship? What? I'm like severely autistic? I guess so. Oh, damn. Is that ball frog buzz huge? So you're 2 for 2 so far, Biggs?
Yeah.
Okay. Question 3. What memory from high school do you feel the most nostalgic about? A. I'd say the most nostalgic memory for me has to be goofing off with my friends and making those early cringeworthy attempts at creating content. Whether it was recording ridiculous skits or coming up with absurd ideas for videos, those moments were pure fun and creativity before any thought of an audience or a career. We were just a bunch of kids trying to entertain ourselves and each other. Okay, any thoughts on that, Biggs?
No, that doesn't sound very MUMKEY.
Little too wholesome.
But I think I see the one that's it.
Okay, option B. I was alone in a truck with my English teacher to do charity painting work, and instead of molesting me, he accidentally referred to one of the other teachers as a fucker And I thought that was really cool. Okay, that's option B. Option C. I feel the most nostalgic about hanging out with Biggs and my other friends after school. We'd watch funny videos together and record our own. It was a simpler time where we could just go around doing whatever we felt like. Do any of these pop out as being written by me?
It's definitely B. It's gotta be.
I probably
B.
shouldn't have picked the story that you were there for that day.
So I actually have another story that happened like the same week, I think.
Okay.
So it was one of the times where I was riding in the cab and everybody else was like in the back, and we were just cruising to the next house, and all of a sudden Careless Whisper came on the radio. And he just kind of like weirdly side-eyes me, and he slowly reaches over and changes the station. It was so awkward, but I just started dying laughing.
That was a great English teacher. I'd say him and Trevor Moore are probably my two greatest inspirations in life. Very funny guy.
I'll never forget the Wall of Awesomeness.
Uh-huh. Yeah, our friend Jared used to go dumpster diving, and they had Wendy's had a 15-foot giant red banner to celebrate the Baconator, and he recovered that from the dumpster and hung it up on our teacher's wall at school because he said, "This is the Wall of Awesomeness. If you make art or anything or whatever, you can put it up." So he just put up an ad for a giant Baconator.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it took up the entire wall, too.
Yes!
Like, the entire wall of the classroom. And he kept it up there the whole year.
Yeah. I wonder if Jared still has that. It's something you got to hold on to.
I think he let Mr. Wright keep it.
Who? Yeah. Oops.
Oh, I wonder who. Let's go Google that.
Well, now they can. But who cares? Okay, you're 3 for 3. So basically... you'd have to get all 4 of the next ones wrong to lose, Biggs.
I feel confident at this point.
Might have been too easy. Okay. Number 4. If you could have joined a season of Survivor, what season would it have been and why? A. I would definitely join Heroes versus Villains. I would align with Russell and destroy Sandra and Parvati's game, so I am guaranteed to win. It would be easy to win by bringing Russell to the finals, by making sure I'm just slightly less hated by the jury. But even if something goes sideways and I don't win, it would still be amazing to get to play alongside all the legends on Heroes versus Villains. Somebody in the chat said Island of the Dans. It's only Dan, me and Dan. And I say rip my homeboy Dan.
Somehow there's still sexual abuse that season.
No, I wouldn't report it. I'd be fine with it. B. If I had to pick a season, I'd probably go with Survivor Cagayan, season 28. Why? Because it was one of the most dynamic and unpredictable seasons with some of the craziest characters and gameplay. It had Tony Vlachos, one of the most entertaining and strategic players ever. I think being part of that chaos and trying to outmaneuver those big personalities would have been a blast. Plus, it would have made for some killer content to talk about afterward. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying that one.
Not buying that one?
Too GPT-esque.
Okay. Well, if ChatGPT knows that I love fucking Tony, then that's a miracle. Option C. While I would love to play with my heroes like Russell Hantz or Tony Vlachos, I'd also like to win $1 million. So without question, I would want to be on the original season. Nobody knew what the show was, and the one guy who used even a tiny bit of strategy ended up winning. So I could use my knowledge of the show to easily beat those people.
That's tough.
So option A talks about Russell. Option B talks about Tony. And option C talks about both of them. So everybody's pretty much clocked into what I like about Survivor.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, at this point, I'm thinking it's either A or C, but I feel like you would still rather play with Russell.
And Parvati's pretty fucking hot.
But also, you're smart enough to think of C, where it's like, if I played before anyone knew how to play the game, then it's just
I want to play with literal brain dead people instead of all my heroes.
I'll lock in A.
What do you want on DoorDash, Biggs?
Yeah!
It doesn't matter because the answer was C.
No!
We're still in it, baby. We're still in it. I want that $1 million. But I was shocked that ChatGPT knew I love fucking Tony. Like, how does it know Mumkey Jones, anime connoisseur, is a fan of Tony Vlachos? Just because I put it in my Diary of a Supreme Gentleman book?
Maybe it read the whole book in the 2 seconds it spit out the
They
answer.
recognized the cartoon image of Tony giving advice to Elliot Rodger. Because it's not like his name was in there.
Yeah.
Randy the Wild Horse, Randy. Okay. Option 5. What song, or question 5, what song had the most impact on you the first time you heard it? A. Hurt by 9 Inch Nails and the Johnny Cash cover. The raw emotion in the lyrics and the powerful delivery hit me hard. It's a song that makes you reflect on your life and the choices you've made. And Biggs is shaking his head.
I already know the answer.
Everybody hurts. That's the song, right?
Yeah.
I hurt myself today to see if I... Speaking of hurt, I will say I'm about to see the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. And if you recall, the Logan movie had that song Hurt in the trailer. And I still stand by. That is one of, if not the greatest movie trailers of all time. So go check out that Logan trailer that has Hurt in it. It's still amazing. It's probably better than the movie, but the movie was still pretty good. Option B. Definitely War Jazz by Echolin. The first time I heard it, I had it on repeat for at least a week. I love the verse, I used to move ahead of the sun, but now my sun burns back. It's a great song from one of my favorite bands. I still listen to it all the time. Okay, option C.
I'm going to get tricked by your SO again, I think.
I didn't have internet as a kid, so I had to search through my dad's massive CD collection to find music. The genre that defined most of my teens and 20s has been progressive rock and concept albums, like when it's basically a musical with a story and characters, and the album that introduced me to that genre and got me addicted was CrowdStrike's Operation Mindcrime.
Dang, this is hard. I'm going to lock in C.
Heartsy in the chat says, well, we know it's not C. Juicy Dud says, C is a dirty trick.
I'm not reading chat. I'm going to keep it.
Why do you think it's C over A or B?
I don't know, because knowing your dad's music type, I could definitely see you going through his CDs and like finding something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoying it and just kind of soaking it up.
We know he had internet as a kid. Toothless Paste, I don't know why you think you know that, because I definitely did not. Definitely did not. Biggs is correct. The answer is C. You won, Biggs.
Woo!
Big winner. I'm going to be out about $30 this time next week. It is what it is.
30, you're ordering for 3.
Uh-oh. Okay. We got 2 more, and then we can get the hell out of here, folks. Because I got to go see my epic Deadpool Reddit meme movie. Question 6. Oh my God. This is going to... Oh, man. If you woke up tomorrow and found 6 extra zeros at the end of your bank balance, what's your next move? Option A. Basically, I want to be like an evil Mr. Beast. Now, maybe bad timing on that one. I think we already have one evil Mr. Beast as it is. I want to be like an evil Mr. Beast, kind of like Bam Margera on Viva La Bam. I'll set up a commune somewhere for me and all my friends and keep making videos doing retarded shit while wasting my money. Does that sound like me, Biggs?
It does, especially the Bam Margera mention.
I do love Viva La Bam. Option B. I'd invest a good chunk of it to... let me try again. I'd invest a good chunk of it to secure my future. Maybe buy a house and definitely use it to fund more ambitious video projects. Oh, and probably go on a wild spending spree just for fun. Does that one sound like me?
No.
The responsible options? Okay, option C. My next move would be to literally move. I'd find my dream house or have it designed and built. With that kind of money, I could make sure everything is perfect with no compromises. I'd make sure the house had a finished basement and lots of new spots for the cats to lounge around.
I feel like I want to ask you a question about how you presented this to your SO, but I also don't want to cheat. So
Go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask. You already won. Who cares?
So when you gave them the questions, did they ask you anything for any of the questions? Like, did they try and interview you? Because no. Okay. So I'm gonna go with A.
Correct.
Okay, because the last one completely did not get me until you brought up the cats, and I'm like, maybe because his cats are like everything. So
yeah, but she knows I love those cats, so it's a good way to trick. Yeah. But maybe my love for Viva La Bam is just slightly more. True. Could you imagine, man? Oh, if one of us was rich and we could just do what Viva La Bam does all day. Like get like a fat uncle and say, hey, everybody, let's torture this man. Hey, everybody, this guy's a freak. Put him up on billboards.
Isn't that just what you did to me for a while?
Yeah, you were my Don Vito for a little bit.
Hey, we got this clip where you're like falling down the stairs, but like you didn't do it right the first 5 times. Can you fall down the stairs like maybe 10 more times, and then we'll use the first take?
If people like Viva La Bam, I would love to do like a ranking every episode video, because there's not that many episodes. Yeah, and rip in peace, modern day Bam. Now, Biggs, there's one question left, and it's also another easy one. So let me ask you this: are you a gambling man, Biggs? You already won the game. Should we say fuck it, double or nothing? If you get this right, maybe I get you 2 dinners. If you get it wrong, we're square. Nobody owes anybody anything.
Oh, but it would be so funny for you to buy me food.
Yeah, if you get it right. I mean, you got most of these right. What are the chances you'd get this last one wrong? You know what questions you asked. They're not that difficult.
Sure, for the spirit of yeah.
If you get it wrong, should you have to tattoo the word liar on your face? You should get like a marker and do like a fake boogie liar tattoo. That'd be really funny on you.
I haven't even seen that tattoo.
Oh, so, Keemstar made him get the word liar tattooed on his face because he lied about having cancer to make money.
So he actually admitted it now?
Yeah, they caught him. They caught him. Wow. They said, show us your patient portal on your phone. He said no.
You know you're at a new low when you're more pathetic than Wings.
Yeah, and I've been waiting 5 weeks to put Boogie lying about cancer on the pathetic list, but we just didn't do an episode, so we'll have to save that for later. But Boogie, he should be like #1 on the list for many reasons, but
yeah.
So
right, yeah, let's do it.
Biggs, sure. He's going double or nothing on the final question, and somebody, Toothless Pace in the chat, said it's a trap. Toothless Pace is correct. Let's see the final question. Which One Piece character do you relate to the most and why? A, I'd say Usopp. He's not the strongest or the bravest, but he has a lot of heart and always finds a way to contribute to the team. Plus, he's got a great sense of humor and isn't afraid to be himself, even if that means being a bit of a coward sometimes. Option B, it's got to be Usopp. He's the most human character on a pirate crew full of gods and monsters. He's constantly making shit up to make people smile. He once did an epic spicy food challenge, and he's the second funniest guy on the show. C, Usopp, because he has to use creativity and wit to win his battles. He doesn't have godlike strength like a lot of characters in the One Piece world do, forcing him to battle strategically. I also have to get creative to solve problems in my life, which is what makes him so relatable. His victories and failures both hit hard since they're determined by his own strategy instead of physical power. Okay, Biggs, for all the DoorDash food you can eat, which Usopp answer is correct?
Well, I just want to thank you beforehand for being willing to buy me 2 meals. That's really nice of you.
He knows! C. He knows!
It's C.
Oh, Biggs. I feel bad now because I have no way to actually verify that you're wrong, but it was B. He's the second funniest guy on the show. That's a compliment to you, Biggs. Why'd you think it was C? I think C was Chat GPT.
It was written in a way I feel like you would write about One Piece because you're like passionate about it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad this all worked out. Now nobody owes anybody anything.
Dang it.
Did you
One
throw
Piece
that,
is like
Biggs? Did you throw that?
No, so with I don't know, with One Piece it's like the one thing that I can actually see you getting like really passionate with and like talking about with like, you know, putting jokes aside for the most part. And so I don't know. I
thought it was very, very funny that me, my girlfriend, and ChatGPT all knew it was Usopp. Like, it's the only time it was all three the same answer. Mingo says you still need to give Biggs head. Was that part of the deal? I don't remember. Why are you nodding yes? I don't remember that part. Jimmy narrowly avoided being bankrupted by buying Biggs 2 meals. I would have had to rely on your donations for that one. I would have been fucked. I said, okay, we'll do it, but let's get some super chats in this episode real quick. But now we're all good.
Let's do a quick transfer to my bank account real quick.
So I guess if you want to see Biggs shirtless, stay tuned for the 48-hour film. Biggs said he's going to submit himself shirtless in the movie.
What?
I'm sure your wife could film you, do something, and send it to us.
Oh, I'm sure she would think it's so funny to do that too.
Are you gonna be like out of town hardcore?
Yeah.
Okay. Bring a laptop with you, so if you need to like play the hacker, you can be like, okay, oh, I'm hacking into the mainframe guy. You know, talking on the phone to us. We could do that.
True.
Anything else you want to chat about before I end the stream and go pee?
I guess I can save what I was gonna talk about next for next time. I was just gonna talk about my new hobby I've gotten into.
Oh, is it a cool hobby or a lame hobby?
Probably lame for most people, but I'll leave it as a little secret treat for next week.
Biggs, we might not be back for 6 weeks knowing us. We're gonna forget we're even talking about this.
Hey, by then I might be a pro at this hobby. You never know. So I'll even have more to talk about.
Okay. Is this episode 22 or 23 of MUMKEY and Biggs? I don't remember. When did we last review a Jake Gyllenhaal movie? Was that super recent? Was that with E-Rich last episode?
Yeah, it was the last episode, I'm pretty sure.
So next week's probably too soon. Should we review a random One Piece episode for next week?
Sure.
Okay.
Actually, I think we still had one.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Oh, okay.
I was going to get us a different one.
Gotcha.
Okay. Random number generator between 1 and like fucking 1105 or something at this rate.
And we got to make sure it's not 696.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, what? Okay, I'm gonna 561. I'm scared this is gonna be like Fishman Island or something, but let's see. One Piece episode 561. Where are we landing? God damn it! Fucking Fishman Island. Oh, let's just skip it, Biggs. I don't even want to do it now. God. Battle Royale. This might be good. The crew versus the new Fishman pirates. So you get to see like everybody in the crew. It's right after the time skip. They got the new powers and they're showing them off. Might not be a bad one, but we'll see if we remember to do this in a week because I might choose to forget.
Well, I'll put it in our chat here so I remember which episode.
All right, folks. That's it for MUMKEY and Biggs. We learned a lot about me and my history. We learned a lot about Biggs and how the internet works. And Randy the Wild Horse learned something new. I'd say it's a great episode. I'm going to make a short film with Eggy this weekend, so stay tuned for that. New Medea video next week. Bye, folks. And now we got to play rock, paper, scissors, Biggs, before it cuts us off. You ready? On shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Okay. Chad wins again. We both shake our head no.